everyone. Welcome to this edition of Village Voices. My name is John Snader. I'm the president of Brethren Village, and I'm pleased to introduce to you for today's podcast Tara Wages. Tara came to Brethren Village several months ago, gave an internal presentation about transitions, those emotional changes, those emotional transitions seniors make when they decide to move from their home in the community of maybe 30, 40, 50, or even more years and move to a place like Brethren Village. So as Brethren Village wants to continue to make a decision that a resident makes to move to our community, something that's valuable, something that is meaningful, and as we like to present ourselves, it's the second best decision that they've made. We were glad to learn a little bit more from Tara, and hopefully this podcast will also share a little bit of Tara's insight and wisdom with you. So thank you for joining us today. Perhaps you can just begin and tell us a little bit, who is Tara Wages?
Okay, well, thank you, John, for inviting me. So Tara Wages is was trained as an addictions therapist initially, and through my experiences with working with older adults and young adults, male and female, I found something that I absolutely love to do, which is the action method therapy. So it's experiential therapy. So traditional therapists will ask you, well, how are you feeling, John? And I would ask you, what are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? And so it's more of action and exploring where the emotion is coming from, rather than just talking about it. So we act it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's primarily my life, which I absolutely love doing. It's I'm grateful that I'm able to do what I love. Yes.
Well, that's always a real key in life, isn't it? To
Yes.
be able to do what we love.
Yes.
So I think as I remember the presentation, you do recognize and you've affirmed that a transition to a retirement community, to retirement living, confronting the need for long-term care, if not immediately, at some point in the future, that's an emotional kind of experience. From your, maybe you could help shape understanding around what are some of those emotions that seniors feel as they're confronting those transitions to a retirement community.
Yes, so through my work at the treatment center, working with older adults, some of them, when they came in for initially addiction to pills or alcohol, we found that a lot of them needed to not be on their own anymore and needed a retirement community. And so that began my exploration in having to find facilities to help them in their next transition. And with that, talking with them, I learned how a lot of the emotions that came about, that the biggest emotion would be grief and loss, because they are losing the life that they knew. Some of these individuals were in their homes for 30, 40, 50 years, and now we're asking them to, okay, now you're going to this place. You don't know what's going to happen, and you're leaving all your prized possessions, which for older adults, it's like pictures, memories, things their children made or grandchildren made. So it takes a toll on the psyche for them in terms of leaving all those memories they feel. And so making that transition easier for them, in letting them know they can bring some pictures. They're not losing their memories. They're just transitioning to a new place where they can bring their memories to. It's not a loss, but they do feel that loss. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a resident that once shared a brilliant insight in that it was a transition to come to Brethren Village, but she was looking forward to making new memories.
Yes.
Here. So maybe you can help us understand a little bit more that need, as I'm understanding it, that paring down, that kind of narrowing down, that kind of making smaller some of those memories, those various things that we have to recall our lives that may have filled a 3,000 square foot detached single family dwelling into to a smaller facility. Is that difficult for a resident making a move? How would they select what they should bring along?
Well, I think it's truly an individual choice, right? Because what might be important for me may not be important for somebody else. So it's communicating with the individual. Well, what brings you joy? What are some of the memories you want to cherish and remember? That maybe some like a photograph or something your child made when he was 10 years old. I can say that because I kept everything that my children has made over the years, and now they're adults. So those are treasured memories for me. Whatever that person thinks that is important for them, but I think the most important thing is talking with them and hearing their story and what's important for them. Mm-hmm. Is helpful in helping them decide what's important to bring and what's not important. Not important, but you know what I mean. Like that, the most important things for them to bring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that the experiences I've had in meeting new residents, and I think it's been echoed by other residents. So as they're meeting their new neighbors, is the stories behind the various items that they have in their apartment or their cottage.
Yes.
Everybody does have a story.
Yes.
Everybody has a unique story.
Yes.
And I would say that more often than not, it's a really interesting story.
Yes.
Just to be able to listen to that. Yes. Does that help someone, kind of cope with the idea of living in a closer community if they're in an apartment building, or helping to adjust to that transition, that ability to share those stories and hear them?
Oh yes, absolutely. Because we're made up of stories, right? This is our life. It's a lot of different stories, and communicating, listening to someone share their experiences is pretty amazing for the person telling it and for the person receiving it. And when I find that when individuals in a retirement community, they get together, they have incredible stories. And I've learned to listen to them from my work at the treatment center with doing groups with them. They're just fascinating human beings. Yes.
They are. They are
Yes.
indeed. And sometimes when you just hear the wisdom that's behind that. So it's that depth of experience, that idea of, or that sense of understanding those emotions as they're happening.
Yes.
And that helps with somebody's mental well-being, their emotional well-being.
Yes.
Am I getting that right?
Yes, and I think that in today's world, a lot of the older adults in retirement communities, they feel that they have nothing to offer and nothing else to offer, and they have a lot to offer, and sometimes they feel dismissed, I believe, and that should not be. I think it's really important to tap into their stories, their experiences, and build on that. We talk about super agers, right? We're not done at any age, right? And being active and just getting up there and sharing experiences is amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because living and working among our residents, that sense of vibrancy is very real. Just that sense of meaning and purpose. It doesn't end.
No.
It continues. It's just finding new
Yes.
meaning and purpose.
Yes.
And sounds like that ability to share those experiences, to be able to find those new friends in which you can, even share sometimes your own fears.
Absolutely.
And are some of those fears often shared by others? So someone is not alone in feeling some of those concerns? Is that what your experience, professional experience?
Oh yes, absolutely. Validating our emotions is so important because sometimes I think, oh, I may be the only person feeling terrified to move into a new situation, and to come to know that sharing our experiences together, we all feel the same way or at some level. And especially with grief and loss, and sharing the memories of what it means to us to kind of transition from our home to a retirement community, and the fears and the anxiety that comes with that and the anger also. It's sort of like, now I'm older, I'm going into a retirement community, is that the end? And that comes up for older adults as well, that they feel like, oh, they're going to put me into a room and it's going to be the end, and that's not necessarily so at all.
Right.
But sharing that fear that they have is validating for them, to know that, okay, my feelings are validated. They may be incorrect, but they're still my feelings.
Yeah, it's interesting when you think about a facility like Brethren Village and how long it's been around. We're in our 128th year. And even when you look back at how we described our name, I mean, I remember growing up around here, it was kind of always, it wasn't just Brethren Village, it was, am I going to the home, type of thing. But there is a sense of you're coming home. And I think I'm seeing more and more with seniors coming to a facility, finding new opportunities to learn, to grow. Right outside of the studio, we often have a hallway that we use for art exhibits. It has been absolutely marvelous to see residents who may never have picked up a paintbrush suddenly deciding to learn how to paint, and the growth that they have, and doing it together. So that sense of exploring new things, that sense of doing them together, plays a good part in somebody's emotional well-being and adjustment.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about connection and community. The opposite of that is loneliness and just despair. So community and connection is very important to the psyche, no matter who you are, right? Older or younger. Community is important.
Right.
Yeah. And having some goals together, like the art project, because art is this internal experience that we have. It's not about being Picasso or Van Gogh. It's about, how am I feeling? These are my feelings coming out in the artwork. So it's pretty remarkable that they do that. Yeah.
And most of that artwork has been marvelous. It's just been very fresh. It's been very uplifting. I think when you said the word community, that's what it's really about.
Yeah.
And that's something that we like to use in our term. It's the Brethren Village community. And that community is made up of a lot of these great individuals that have their stories. So is it fair to say that, sometimes aging, it can be a little scary, can often carry with it lots of uncertainty. But there are things that we can do by reaching out to one another and expressing support and understanding for shared feelings, shared stories, but we do it in a community.
Yes.
Well, that might be the best way to sum up our today's podcast. Again, Tara, I want to thank you for coming and sharing a little bit. We hope that you found this helpful, and we would look forward to seeing you here in our community, where you too can experience and participate in the life of this community. It has artists, it has singers, it has athletes, and just a whole lot of really, really fine, interesting people. We hope to see you on our campus real soon. Until next time, thanks and have a good day.